Hey guys, this is Kenny the Messy Soaper over at Royal Appleberry. And today we are coming with another soap. Okay, so for like the past 2 weeks, that's why I kind of do my videos in advance. And I never really encountered this, but this is going on being week 3 that I've had like soaper's block, like zero ideas of what I was going to do. And I'm like, that's so annoying. So I know it was like one fragrance in particular that I really wanted to soap, but it had a very heavy vanillin content. So I was just like, I just don't know my design scheme, because when you have vanillin in your fragrance oil, it tends to turn your soaps a darker color or a dark brown based on the colors that you use. So I'm going to get back to that one, but I was really kind of like at a loss of what to do. So I'm talking with my mom and just kind of Googling different summer and spring colors. I still didn't get any inspiration. So what I ended up doing, I was just on Rustic Essentials website and putting in my reviews of all their fragrances that I've used. And I came across a picture, and it's actually on their white jasmine. It's no, let me think. Let me look real quick. It is on there. Yeah, white jasmine and pineapple is the picture for that fragrance. I'm just like, those are some cool colors, man. So, ta-da! I got my soap and inspiration. I'm not going to use that fragrance because I've already used it. I am going to go with Rustic Essentials Tropical Oasis. It's just like so fitting, I think, for the color scheme that I'm going to do. So, as you can see, I have the yellow, which is Buttercup Mica from Rustic Essentials. I have Orange Burst Mica. I have Enchanted Forest Mica. And then I'm going to use some titanium dioxide. And for my base color, it's going to be, I can't turn it or it'll dump out, but it's the Ooh La La Mica from Rustic Essentials as well. So, let me go ahead and get everything mixed in, and we will be back. I am so excited to have my soaping mojo back, y'all. It's just like so frustrating when you want to make soap and you can't think of nothing, but that's gone now. So, as soon as I get everything mixed in, I will be right back. See you in a minute. Alright guys, I'm back. So, I have encountered a bit of a problem. I always use, no, let me say that again. I don't always use creams, like heavy creams in my soaps, and sometimes I use them in my all natural bars. And the reason why I don't put them in all my soaps, because if I want to do like some fancy swirl or what have you, it tends to accelerate my trace of my soap. So this is what I got. It's not going to be like my more fluid drop swirls, not at all. So I'm just going to go ahead and give these some ploppers, and then just kind of work my way around it. And I'm like kind of disappointed because I mean, I knew I had to work fast, and I wasn't really working fast. And I kind of had a certain way I wanted this soap to look, and that's just not going to happen now. So I'm just going to make the best of it. So it may just end up being one of my favorite soaps, because that's normally what happens when I have soaps that are not behaving the way I want them to. They always end up being my most favorite. Now here's the crazy thing. Look at that. That's still very fluid and still very pourable. Oh, and also I did put poppy seeds in here, because the picture that I saw did have like a black and white speckled type fruit. And I'm like, oh, I really like that. So that's why I did that. I'm just trying to grab another spatula. So I'm going to still pour this from up high. Don't ask me why. I guess I'm crossing my fingers that it's going to break through, which I know it's not going to. But I'm going to do it anyway. And I still think this is going to turn out cool looking. You know, you just keep positive. And here's the thing too, guys, I want to talk to you all about. I get so many of you tell me, oh, you know, I want to start making handmade soap. I want to start making cold processed soap, but I'm afraid to do it. What are you afraid of? You are afraid that it's not going to turn out right. Okay, and I think it's perfect time for me to have this conversation, because guess what? This did not turn out the way I wanted it to, but am I still going through with it? Yes, indeedy. Because I always say to you all, at the end of the day, it's just soap. And it is just that. So if it doesn't turn out in the design, or, you know, the way you thought it was going to look, it's still soap. So no need to fret, darling. No need to fret. You just keep it moving. That's what you do. So if you're afraid to make handmade soap, you will never know if you're any good at it or not because you never tried it. So get off your buns, put that fear, matter of fact, go to your front door, open it, take that fear and give it a big kick in the boot and sell it across, over into the next neighborhood. You don't need that. I mean, there's no need to be afraid. Because again, it's just soap. It's not going to hurt you or anybody else, and you'll end up being so very proud that you did it. And once the first time you do it, you're over that fear. And now guess what? You're a soap maker. Fantabulous. That looked like eggs on camera. But yeah, don't let fear hold you back from doing something amazing. It's just soap, y'all. Just do it. Like Nike. Just do it. So I just really wanted to say that. And I have a couple of people telling me, well, I'm not really getting much support from my family. They're telling me, why are you wasting your time? Are you really going to make any money from that? You know what? Be your own support system. That's what you do there. You don't need to wait on anybody else to support you. It's great to have a family that backs you up and, is there for you. But if you don't, be your own support system. You know that you can do it. You know that this is something you're really interested in doing. So do it. Don't let anybody hold you back. So I just want to put that out there. So guys, give me a sec. I'll be right back. Alright guys, I'm back. So the reason why I had to take off for a second is because I had some soap troubles. I had some that were just kind of thickening up more than others. So I kind of whipped this, and now it kind of has the consistency of like my whipped soap. And I use a stick blender, which this is odd. I kind of like it. But this soap is going to have tons of different textures, that's for sure. But it's cool, guys. It is cool. So I'm kind of glad. I was meaning to have this conversation with you all anyway in this video, but it kind of makes me even more happy that this happened. So now you can see, having fear over making soap is just you standing in your own way, I got some chunky soap going on here, but it's cool. And I'm going to say fear for me was, I don't want to really be bothered with milk soaps because milk soaps tend to accelerate trace for my recipe, and I just don't want to deal with that. But guess what? Milk soaps are amazing. Not milk. Jeez. Take that out. Not milk. Heavy creams, because I put milk in all of my soaps. But when I use heavy creams, this is what I tend to get with my soaps. I know a lot of other soapers don't, but this is what happens to me every single time I use it when I mix it with colors. So it's not that big a deal, I'm just still going to muster on and continue on with the plan that I had originally. And is it going to turn out the way I wanted it to? No, of course not. But am I still going to go along with it? Yes, of course I am. So, with that being said, oh, and also, having fears that, okay, you're already a handmade soap maker, and you're just like, well, you know what? I really can't spend too much money. I did have a conversation with a few people on this. I don't want to spend too much money because I'm not really making any money, so I don't want to spend money on a website or business cards or card readers. And guess what? What's the first thing that people ask you when you are at craft fairs and markets and bazaars? Do you take credit? That's what they ask you, because a lot of people aren't too keen on carrying cash around nowadays, and for good reason. So you need to be prepared. You don't get charged a fee unless you use the card reader. With your website, you can start small. I have a big cartel. That was my very first website. So that's what I've always used. This one, I will be right back. That one's just has no movement at all. Oh, matter of fact, you know what? I'm going to stay on camera. So what I like to do is take just a dash of room temperature distilled water and mix it into my soaps when they get a little stiff. And this helps me to kind of smooth things out. I don't know if you guys, yeah, I think you can see a little bit. So just kind of keep stirring. Not too much. You don't want to add too much water to your recipe, or it's going to take forever for those soaps to cure out. But just a little bit, just a little bit, and then keep stirring. So now it's back fluid. Is it pourable? Of course not. But it's just a little bit easier to work with. So go ahead and just pound that down in there. But yeah, okay, so when you are at a craft fair or wherever you are, or just everyday life, people you encounter, they're just like, hey, you got a website? No, I don't have a website. So they're just like, well, how do I get in contact with you? How do I see the rest of your products? So you got to spend money to make money. That's what I'm trying to say. If you don't spend the money, you're not going to make any money unless you're constantly carrying around your products in your trunk wherever you go, and then you see a person walk by, you whip it up like, hey, check this out. You know, there's not a lot of us that do that. But once you get into a conversation with someone that you meet and you bring up that you make handmade products, and they're just like, oh, wow, you got any? Oh, you got a website? How can I see this? You want to be prepared. So yes, you got to spend money to make money. That's just how, you know, the business goes. So if you have to spend, like with my big cartel, in the beginning, I was only doing the $9.99 a month subscription, and that allows you to have list 50 products. And I'm just like, you know, that's not bad at all. And then once I got, you know, I had more products, I moved up to the $19.99 a month. So it's not expensive, but you have to spend money to make money, or you won't be making nothing. You'll just have a whole bunch of products and wonder, you know, what are you going to do with this, unless you plan to constantly do craft fairs, which is great because I just signed up for another one. Woo! But you gotta spend. That's what I'm saying. Don't be afraid. It's not gonna cost you a lot, and in the end, the reward is very, very handsome. You have new customers. You're able to accept credit right there on the spot. Even if you're on the streets and you're talking to someone about you having products, and they're just like, oh, I would like to buy one if you happen to have one on you. Oh, I don't have any cash. Don't let that customer walk away from you. Whip out that card reader. Oh, I got you covered. I got a PayPal card reader. I have a Square card reader. Always be prepared. All right, guys, give me a sec. I'm going to bang this down. I'll be right back. All right, guys. So, got that all banged down. Don't want any air bubbles, because that's what you get when your soaps tend to thicken up on you. And I think this is going to end up looking, because, you know, I had that happen with my abstract art. Some of my batter that I had left outside of the peacock soap that I made. And so I just kind of said, I'm not going to let this go to waste. So I did my water thing. And it has this really cool texture to it. And this soap is going to be just like that, I know, because I did the same method. And this soap is very, very warm. And again, that's what I get when I use heavy whipping cream. Am I going to stop using it? No, because I would like to incorporate it into all of my soaps. And I think what I'm going to now, I was going to say I would freeze it, then use it. But you know what? I've tried that before, and I just don't think it's going to make a difference. I just know that I have to do a little homework and a little research and figure out what's going to work with me using whipping creams in my soaps, because they do make lovely, I mean absolutely lovely creamy soaps. So that's why I want to incorporate it. So as you guys can see, I'm kind of putting these little lumps in different spots because I don't want too much of the same color in the same spot. And if you are new to my channel, hello. This is not the way all my soaps turn out. This is just one of those trial and errors that we all go through, you know, when the soap gremlins decide to visit your home and check you out, or your soaping studio, and just like, hey, what's going on? I came here to mess up your soap for you. So you don't run away from it. You don't get frustrated. You don't cry. You don't take it and toss it. That's the one thing that just like makes my teeth want to shatter when a person tells me, oh, I just tossed the whole thing. Are you out of your ever-loving mind? Don't ever toss those. No, that you just shouldn't do that. You break my heart, okay? You want to break my heart? Toss the soap. Don't do that. The thing you do is you keep working like I'm doing. You work at it. You take these little crumbly bits and you turn it into something beautiful, guys. So you just kind of gotta work with it. And I wanted to save, that's why I made so much white, because I really wanted to save some of this for the top. But since this creature decided to do something else, I don't think I'm going to be putting a white top on this. I don't know what the top's going to look like. This might be my first truly flat top soap. I'm not sure. We will see. But, yeah, don't let anything hold you back. Especially not something like soap, you know. Well, matter of fact, any products, anything you want to do, don't let fear be the thing that stop you from doing it. Because even if you do try it and you're just like, you know what, that didn't really work out. Maybe that's not something I want to do. At least you tried it. Because you don't know, you might have just turned out to be amazeballs at it. But if you didn't try it, you'll never ever know. So don't let soap or any product or anything that you want to do make you afraid to do it. It can't hurt you. It really can. I mean, yeah, soap making can, the chemistry of it. But once you get past that, because that was my biggest fear when I started making soap. I'm like, oh, I'm going to like be burnt to a crisp. And I looked at all these other soapers. I'm like, I'm not a stupid person. If they aren't burnt up, then I'm pretty sure I won't get either. So I just did it. And I'm just like, wow, that was pretty fun. And look at me now. You know, I'm addicted to it. And even when my soaps backfire and turn into these little creatures, it's okay. I'll just keep it moving, y'all. I'll just keep it moving because I'm always curious to see. Look at this. Take a look at this right now. You see all that? I'm like, what is that going to try to look like? Is that going to be really ugly so I can sit back and have a grand old laugh at it? Or is it going to turn out to be spectacular? So I've just learned I really like the texture of this soap. Man, I wish all of them would turn out like that. But I didn't stick blend the rest. I just hand served them. I'm just really, really curious to see. And then it's always just like a challenge, because when you have soaps that look like this, which is your traditional soap on a stick, in a sense, because it's still, you know, I can mash a soap on a stick. It's like a rock. You can't do anything with it. But when you do encounter these types of textures and soaps, it can actually help your soap end up being something really, really cool looking, because texture soaps are amazing. And I've had this is not the first time this happened to me. No, it's not. You just kind of keep going with it and see what you get, and it's always exciting to me. So, and I need to stop trying to hold on to this white. It's not gonna happen. I have to use it. So I'm gonna go ahead and put that in there. Like I said, I don't know what this top is gonna look like, but we will find out soon enough. So go ahead and keep on plopping these in here, and it's still fairly warm. It really is warm. So I know that's what it was, the cream, for sure. But no big deal. No big deal. And that's why I like to share, because you all like, oh, you know, you always show us your mishaps. Of course I do, because nobody is a perfect soap maker. We all encounter this. The best of us encounter this. I mean, it just happens. It's chemistry, y'all. Sometimes chemistry can blow up in your face. Not literally, but it can backfire and not end up being what you want it to be. But you never say, oh, I'm done with this. No, no, no. Oh, no, no. You want me to come knocking at your door and shake you up a little bit? Toss a soap. Don't ever do that. Just don't. Just work with it. It's like a science project, y'all. And it's just like so cool, because there's a surprise at the end. You don't know what that surprise is. You don't know what it's going to look like. But that's why it's called a surprise. So that's why I enjoy when my soaps do this too. Do I want them to always do this? Hell no. No ma'am, no sir. But if it does, okay, I'm gonna work with it. Yes, I am. And we're gonna make it work. That's what we do. Okay, that's what we do. We work it out and we keep moving. Okay, so what I'm gonna do now is just take what's left and kind of do a crumbly in the pot swirl. And I don't know how much swirling I'm going to do. I just figured it would be faster if I just go ahead and pour it all into one bowl, because it's all going to get mixed in anyway. And I am going to take like something and give it a wee bit of a swirl. Nothing crazy, because it's not going to swirl too much anywho. So just to give it a little bit more, you know, texture, not texture, but a little separated pattern. Separated? No, not separated. I'm trying to avoid it being together. You guys know what I'm saying. I just can't seem to find my words. Excuse me. So, yeah, I just figure I want to kind of mix things up just a wee bit, you know, instead of everything being in separate little lumps, which can turn out being cool, but I kind of already know what that's going to look like. That's going to look like my bar of my abstract art soap, because I did the same thing, and that's what I got. So we're not going to do that. Now, go ahead and put my yellow in here. Yes, this looks a mess. Sure does. So that's all right. That's the fun part. That is the fun part of soap making. Make a mess. Enjoy yourself. Can't be perfect all the time. So, I know one gosh darn thing. It is roasting in this soaping studio. Woo! It's hot in here. I wasn't hot until I started working, and now I'm like, woo! But we're almost done here. Okay, so, and whenever I have a soap that does this on me, I tend to go right behind it and make another soap. Just because I'm like, you know, that one didn't turn out the way I wanted to, so I gotta kind of have a soap that behaved that day. And then I feel like, nah, I got something good done, you know? So, that's the reason why I do that. And I'm sure I'm gonna do another soap behind this one. So, I probably should smack this down before I go putting the rest on. Hold on, guys. Be right back. Hi guys, so I'm back. I was just thinking of a name for this soap, and I'm like, you know what? This soap should be called Name Creature. It is a creature of a soap, for sure. I don't know what this puppy's gonna look like. And then, you know, that's how I was saying, you know, when doubt kind of creeps in, you're just like, maybe I shouldn't even post this soap. But you know what? Yeah, this is a learning experience for others. You know, not just me. Somebody can learn greatly from this. This right now on the top is disgusting, but it reminds me a lot too of my Troublemaker, because Troublemaker did the exact same thing. Thickened up on the top, and I wasn't able really to do any design on it, and it actually turned out really pretty. So that's why I'm just gonna kind of rock it out, y'all. Yes, I am. But yeah, don't let anything defeat you from doing something that you are curious about learning. Never ever ever stop learning. That is just a terrible thing to do. So do it, experience it, nail it, or fail it. If you fail it, then you go back and you try again. But you don't just give up and be like, I don't ever want to do that again, because that really sucked. Because I just told you guys I had like soapers block for weeks, okay? And then here I go. I decide to make a soap, and this is what I get. I could be really disappointed right now, couldn't I? But I'm not. Not even a little bit. I think this is hilarious. I don't know why. I'm just always that person that when my soaps backfire on me, I find it hilarious. I guess because it's a challenge, and it just tests me and my skills to see what I can create when something turns out really ugly. So, yeah, I don't know what this is going to be called. No clue. But I am going to pretty much leave the top like this, because I think once I cut it, it's going to actually look pretty cool. Will there be a thumbnail of this top? Hell no. Normally, you guys know how I put like my soaps as my thumbnail for the video when it appears in your notifications. No, no, no. This top will not be the thumbnail. But, I guess the process of me doing it will be. But yeah, this is just, a total reminder of my Troublemaker. So I got a Troublemaker. I have a Misbehaving. I don't know what this one's going to be called. Yep, I'm going to go ahead and put some glitter on it, because why not? You know, glitter makes everything pretty, kind of. So let me go ahead and grab my glitter. Let's see what we got here. I'm just going to do a little bit of dusting. Nothing too much. A little pinch. Yep, see, that looks good already. Yep, sure does. Gave it life already. I think I'm going to put a little bit of white on there too. Yeah, that looks lovely. And that's just me convincing myself that it's gorgeous. But no, I'm not. Seriously, guys, I'm not bummed about this at all, because I think it is going to be really cool. The only thing that I just don't like is I'm like, I'm going to have a lot of holes in that soap, because that's what tends to happen when you get soaps that accelerate or seize or whatever the case may be. But when I leave camera and I tell you guys I'm going to bang my soap down, trust me, there's a lot of noise going on, because I'm banging the halibut out of this soap. So that's why. So that's why I kind of end up not having so many holes. But okay, so I want to show you something else before I go. Let me see. Bring the camera up like this. If you look at that. Look at that big old mess over there, guys. See, that's what happens when you deal with soaps that kind of backfire on you. But don't, well, so what? Keep moving. Be happy. Continue to make soap. So, guys, that's it. That's your lesson for today on soaps that backfire and being afraid to try something new because you think you're going to fail or it's not going to turn out right. Do it anyway, because you'll end up with this. I know showing you this is not much inspiration. But it's okay. Because maybe once you see the cutting video, you're just like, you know what? That turned out really cool. Or you might be like, wow, that's really ugly. But we're going to find out together. So until the cutting video, guys, loves, hugs, and kisses. Be amazing and awesome at everything you do. And always keep it positive. Until the cutting video, I will see you guys later. Bye-bye.